Chapter 3. Xavier's punch had so much force that Liam stumbled back. He nearly fell when Xavier punched him in the stomach, making Liam groaned as he dropped to one knee, and his nose started bleeding. He touched his nose, and he could feel he had touched blood on his nose, which just made him mad. Taking his hand off his bloody nose, Liam looked at Xavier. Feeling rage built up inside of him. Clenching his fists, Liam glared at Xavier, something telling him to fight back. But he didn't, because he knew that would only make it worse for him. Xavier was bigger than him, and he was an experienced fighter. But still, if Liam tolerated Xavier this time too, Xavier would never learn. He was going to keep on treating him like a punching bag. Only if there was a way to teach this stupid family a lesson. "Stop, I didn't do it, Xavier, your wife did," Liam explained, shifting his gaze to look at Ella. Shivers ran through Ella's spine after hearing Liam's words. And Xavier turned and glared at her, making her even more afraid. "Is that true?" Xavier asked in a cold voice, taking a few steps towards his wife. There was a moment of silence, and the atmosphere became awkward after Xavier asked that. Ella nervously shook her head, as she put on an innocent face and glared at Liam. Taking her eyes off Liam, she turned and looked at her husband, and she said, "That's a lie." Ella denied in a loud voice. And Xavier believed her. He turned to face Liam with a hostile glare. So now my wife is at fault?" Xavier asked, stepping towards Liam with a smirk. He was going to enjoy beating this pauper up. The fact that Liam always refused to divorce his sister made Xavier hate her, the moron, so much. But Liam wasn't going to allow this idiot to do whatever he wanted anymore. "Stop it, or else," Liam warned, his voice sounding serious, still on one knee. "Or what? I see you have learned to talk back now?" Xavier said, his sarcastic voice getting louder. This pauper could never scare him. At the same time, Erin came down the stairs, dressed in a Givenchy dress that hugged her curves perfectly. She looked beautiful in the dress, as always. A surprised expression formed on her face, seeing the way everyone was standing while watching Xavier as he stood over Liam, who was on one knee, and with a bloody nose. Closing his eye, Liam breathed in relief. Thinking Xavier won't dare fight him in front of Erin, and if he dares, Erin will stop him. But to shock, Erin gave him death stare. If looks could kill, Liam would have been dead. Taking her eyes off her useless husband whom she hated so much, Erin walked away. "Geez, what did that son of a bitch do now?" Erin thought to herself, her face forming a disgusted look. She didn't give a damn if something bad happened to that useless husband of hers. She only married him to prevent her parents from getting her married to a person who could control her, or ruin her life. Seeing his wife walk away from him when he needed her the most, Liam felt his heart pound painfully in his chest. But really, it's what he should have expected from her. The woman never treated him with neither care nor respect. "Get up, trash," Mrs. Lopez demanded. She thought Erin would defend her husband, but she was proved wrong. And now that there was no one to defend him, she was going to enjoy seeing this loser get beat up black and blue by her son. Maybe that will make him run away from the mansion, and her daughter can finally marry someone worthy and the excuse of a man she was currently married to. At this moment, Liam knew that if he didn't want to be walking on a stretcher, he needed to retaliate, or better yet, reason with Xavier. Getting on his feet, Liam looked at Xavier. "Xavier, let's just talk about this," Liam said humbly. His voice sounded like a scared kid to Xavier. Why wouldn't he be scared? This large dude had beaten him up several times. But this time Liam was not going to let himself get beaten up by the moron. In response, Xavier threw a punch at Liam. The impact made him stumble back and fall to the ground. Once Liam was on the ground, Xavier continued kicking him until he was bleeding from his nose and mouth. He lost consciousness. Still, Xavier wasn't showing any sign of slowing down. He gritted his teeth and kept on kicking him harder, and that worried everyone present. It would prove to be problematic if something happens to that guy. "Xavier, stop." Mrs. Lopez stopped him, afraid that he might kill Erin's husband. Not that she didn't want him to die, but she didn't want the police investigating her family for the useless son-in-law's death. More than that, she didn't want her daughter to hate her brother for murdering her husband. Listening to his mother, Xavier stopped. This should be a lesson to you, trash. Xavier sneered in a breathy voice, and then he spat on Liam before walking out of the house. Well, he for it. Ella sneered, following her husband outside. Everyone left the living room, leaving Liam on the ground. They couldn't care less if he died or lived. After about 20 minutes of laying on the floor unconscious, Liam regained his consciousness. He coughed, and blood came out of his mouth, feeling pain aching his whole body. With difficulty, Liam managed to get up and walk to his bedroom, and he was lucky he didn't have any broken bones. When he got to his bedroom, he took off the bloody shirt he was wearing and threw it on the floor. He was in so much pain that he didn't care where he threw the bloody shirt, and went to the shower.